What NBA players think of Caitlyn Clark?
These girls hating on Caitlyn Clark. Y'all petty girls.
It's going to be great for her because she's a great talent. She seems like a great gal.
She can shoot it better than me.
Caitlyn Clark is the WNBA's biggest star, and it goes without saying that just about anyone in the world of basketball talks about her and what she's done for women's basketball. While we do know that some of the women in the WNBA, past or present, aren't really happy about the attention she's getting, NBA players can't help but appreciate Clark's greatness. Her rise through the ranks of women's basketball started in college when she was setting records left and right, and hitting impossible shots that we've only seen from Steph and Curry. She not only became the highest-scoring women's college basketball player of all time, but also broke Pete Maravich's NCAA scoring record, an accomplishment no one thought was ever going to be possible. When Clark broke the women's record by going for 49 points against Michigan during her senior year, Shaquille O'Neal proclaimed her as the greatest female college player of all time.
Apparently you are.
Yeah, but she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Cheryl Miller,
Ever.
Maya Moore.
I said what I said. Ever.
Diana Taurasi.
I said what I said.
No disrespect.
Of course, Charles Barkley was quick to challenge Shaq's statement, bringing out names such as Maya Moore, Cheryl Miller, and Diana Taurasi. Chuck makes sense because although Clark has all the amazing records, she never won a title in college. But while Barkley doesn't believe Clark is the greatest female college player in history, he does believe in what she's done for the WNBA. Charles believes that it's petty for the women of the WNBA to be hating on Clark, especially when she's the reason why the league has been growing rapidly ever since she got drafted.
Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlyn Clark. Y'all petty girls. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes.
Chuck believes that Clark is basically the WNBA's money in the bank, a possible culture and game changer for the league. LeBron James isn't a stranger to people hating him when he first got into the league with more hype and attention than anyone else in NBA history. He shared his thoughts on what Clark has been going through since entering the league and what she has to do to focus more on her game despite all the haters talking. But what really made sense was when he said that he thinks that Caitlyn has a good head on her shoulders and is a talented gal capable of turning a struggling franchise around.
It is, and I'm glad that Caitlyn has a great head on her shoulders. She seems like it. I don't think I've ever met her. I don't think I've met her before, but it seems like everything is going to be great for her because she's a great talent. She seems like a great gal. I hope she turns that franchise around to where Tamika Catchings had it at one point.
Speaking of talent, Clark is often considered the Steph and Curry of women's basketball. While we've seen Sabrina Ionescu duking it out with Steph in a three-point contest and nearly beating him, let's be honest, no woman other than Clark has been hitting three-pointers at the same volume and range that we've become accustomed to when watching Curry. When we look at Clark's game, there are plenty of Curry elements there. She loves taking three-pointers off the dribble several feet away from the three-point line, and is capable of stretching the defense all the way to the backcourt because she's in her range the moment she crosses the half-court line. Curry himself is impressed with Clark's overall talent as a scorer and shooter, saying that she adds a different dimension to the game with her ability to basically pull up from everywhere. He's equally impressed about Clark's flair for testing her range every night, showing that she believes that no bad shot exists when she's the one pulling up from 35 feet. And even when she's not scoring, the way she stretches the defense opens up her playmaking.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot, and when you can shoot it as well as she can. She just adds another element of surprise that you can't really game plan for because it's so kind of just unseen. And once she crosses half court, she's within her range. It's always a threat. Biggest thing is how she balances that and her playmaking ability to get everybody else involved.
Curry also said that Clark's release time and flair for the game are a lot like his, and we know that Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, so he knows a thing or two about shooting.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence, you can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair, like she's a performer.
Luka Doncic is also a lot like Clark because he's not only a high-volume scorer, but also a great rebounder and playmaker. There are a lot of similarities between Clark's college stats and Luka's averages in the NBA, but Doncic admitted that she's a better shooter than he is.
He was shooting, letting that ball fly. I watched a little bit, but then I had to do some treatment. But it was amazing. I watched the first half, but she got to go in the second half, so I didn't watch that. She can shoot it better than me.
While we know that Luka isn't the most fundamentally sound shooter, he's still a dangerous sniper capable of hitting impossible outside shots. Still, he believes that Clark is on another level when it comes to shooting. But Clark's talent was already on another level before she got to the WNBA and even before she was torching people in college. Kevin Durant, arguably the most complete scorer in NBA history, once saw Caitlyn in an AAU game years back. He already noticed the talent level in this young woman because she was moving at a speed and pace that was far faster than anyone else on the court. KD said that it was as if people were moving in slow motion while Clark was controlling the game. But the most impressive part for him was Clark's ability to command the game. She always had the ball in her hands, all while everyone else was playing off of her. And Durant realized right then and there that she was the best female player in the country.
Yeah, she's displaying some skill and she moving fast. It looked like everybody on that court is way slower than her when she get into her stuff. I remember watching her when she was a summer going into her senior year. I was in Chicago for it, but she was always leading that. She always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country.
Forever a big fan of Clark, Durant had some additional words about her when she led Iowa to the Final Four for the first time in a while. He marveled at what she did for the team when she opened the court up and allowed everyone to shine. More importantly, he believes that her skills were advanced for her age because she can do a lot of things on the court and always seems to make the right plays when she draws attention and baits the defense into her. And KD knows what it feels like to have an easy time scoring when defenders were concerned about Steph Curry during his 3-year stint with the Golden State Warriors.
Caitlyn Clark, what she's doing, taking that mob out to the Final Four.
Yeah, she's just playing a great game. She's getting her teammates involved. And they got so many shooters. I watched them play Louisville, and the way they moved the ball and played off of her was just perfect. They all got an opportunity to shine.
Incredible.
She's advanced, man. She could do a lot out there, and she's making the right plays. She could draw so much attention, and she's just baiting the defense in. I still make a cross-court pass. Just like, that's just muscle memory. I work on this every day.
As one of the best college players in the last 10 seasons, Trae Young has heard all the noise and the doubts about his game when people were saying that his scoring wouldn't translate into the NBA. But he's since proven all his doubters wrong and is now one of the best offensive players in the game. There are also a lot of similarities between him and Clark because they both score from anywhere on the floor and control the game when the ball is in their hands. Young broke down why Clark is so unguardable. He said that Clark opens up her game through her ability to get to the basket. Everyone talks about how she can shoot from anywhere on the floor, but not a lot of people talk about her ability to break defenses down with her dribble drive and ability to finish near the hoop. Trae realized that Caitlyn uses her finishing ability to keep defenders on their toes, knowing that they're more likely to take the three-pointer away.
I mean, it's crazy. 40 and 12, like scoring and then getting everybody involved. What she's doing is unbelievable. At the beginning of the game, she was just driving to the basket. She was getting layup after layup. And so at some point, the defender that's guarding her way out on the perimeter because they don't want her to shoot threes is going to sag off and be like, okay, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to let her just keep driving by me. She was dribbling with her left, and then she was using her hang dribble just to read if she was going to be able to blow by her defender or not. And she was just doing step backs and side steps and dribbling in the lane, dribbling back out, and then shooting threes. But it started with her getting to the basket, getting some layups, getting easy ones, getting some and ones to start the game. Like, you could tell that she had a plan on what she was doing all night.
That's when the rest opens up for her. When she can drive and finish near the hoop, she puts pressure on the defense and changes the entire game with her drives. Now, no one's going to know how to stop her, because taking away her drives opens up her three-point line. Taking away her shooting opens up her drive, and taking both away opens her teammates up.
Behind the back, it's Smith with the finish.
People always think that this is Steph Curry-like, but they often forget that Young has the same impact on the floor. He's arguably a more dangerous driver than Curry because of his ability to draw fouls and create openings for teammates. That's why he knows that Clark is unguardable, because he knows a thing or two about being unguardable as well. While Clark may be going through a rookie slump similar to Trae Young and a lot of NBA rookies who stood out in college, she's been lighting up the basketball scene in Indiana, one of the biggest basketball states in the country. Tyrese Halliburton, the face of the Pacers, was excited about the Fever drafting Clark because he knows that she's going to bring a ton of excitement to Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for her to be here. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the city, and a city with a lot of young talent already as it is, and adding her, she's one of the faces of women's basketball, and for her to be here and under the same roof, I think is really exciting for me, and I think a lot of people in our organization, and just look forward to, watching her grow throughout the process, watching her get better, looking forward to actually being able to cheer for her now. Now she's with the good guys.
But while Clark did indeed become an all-star in her first season with the Fever, one of the things that people didn't like was how USA Basketball left her off the Olympic team. She's the most popular player in the world of women's basketball, but Team USA didn't even keep a roster spot open for her, even though it would have been a great chance to let the sport grow internationally with Clark representing the US in Paris. Kevin Durant and Paul Pierce didn't hold their thoughts back on how USA Basketball seemingly held women's basketball back with this decision. They know all about the politics, seniority, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's also about allowing the sport to grow. And no other woman in the world is more popular than Clark when it comes to basketball.
Yo, Pete, man, what's your view on Shorty getting left off the Olympic team?
Just thought it was a bad move.
Me too, yo.
Whether you like it or not, this is an opportunity. Now, the U.S. said, they came out and said,
yeah, she ain't had enough reps.
Well, it don't matter. I don't care what the reps is, and I don't care how political this is. Yeah, it's politics. Yep, it sure is.
It's a new wave that is here, and it's got a major blockage on it, man. Listen, to everybody out here, bro, we're not fighting over the pie that's been established. The ideal is to grow the pie. That's what we're trying to do here. And now we're 4 years behind for not putting these girls on the team. Bro, man, didn't that not only drop the ball, but it set us back, bro? What you mean reps? This girl plays basketball and has played basketball against every type of defense, defender, the best that the female has. She's seen it. You hear what I'm saying?
On top of that, KG also believes that Clark's presence in the game allows women's basketball to transcend. When opposing teams get physical with you and start hitting you hard out of possible jealousy or any other reason, that's when you know you're changing the game. Garnett believes that when you have the bullseye on your back and people are coming after you, that's a compliment because they fear you. No one's gonna admit that in the WNBA, but everyone's starting to see that everyone else in the league is afraid of what Clark could do. KG also said the same thing about Clark's rival Angel Reese, who's also been getting the rough treatment from opposing players. Of course, Magic Johnson, one of the biggest game changers in the history of the NBA, weighed in on the entire situation when Jimmy Kimmel said that Clark and Reese are the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird of the WNBA. While Magic loves the fact that these two women have been changing the game the same way he and Larry changed the NBA, he also said that he was getting the same treatment that Clark's been getting because veterans hate it when a younger player is getting more money and publicity than the vets. He went on to say that the only way for Caitlyn to overcome the current challenges she's been facing in the league, where she's been struggling from the field and hasn't been leading the Fever to wins, is to play better and be great. While she may be the most popular player in the league, Magic says that she has to back her popularity up by becoming great.
As veterans are going to test you, and if they feel that you've gotten more money or more publicity, they're upset about that. So we have to understand that both Caitlyn, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better. They're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time. Caitlyn is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlyn still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
This is probably the biggest challenge in Clark's career right now. She's been getting millions of dollars and is undoubtedly more popular than any other woman in professional basketball. But she needs to continue to get better to prove that she's worth all the hype. Right now, Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, and Sabrina Ionescu, among others, are better than her. But as long as she keeps on working on her game and is wearing the blinders, as LeBron said, to focus more on improving despite all the talk surrounding her, she's gonna be just fine.